All right. Hey, guys. Welcome back to the Saucy Sibz. I'm Francesca.
And I'm Nicodemus.
And today we have our friend and real estate agent, extraordinaire, skydiver, avid traveler. What else would you say there, Adam?
I think you hit it right on the head.
Adam
Hey guys,
Jensen.
how are you?
Welcome.
Hello.
Hey.
We actually got him on a Thursday afternoon here in Breck, and it is Ulerfest.
Yeah,
Uller.
there we go.
It's happening right outside. We couldn't find parking. And we moved here last year.
Yeah, we got back to Colorado a year ago today on Ulerfest, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really fun because Ulerfest, for those of you who don't know what that is, Uller is the Norse god of snow. And a lot of mountain towns will have this whole celebration of it, which is pretty much just like an outdoor drinking festival. And it's funny, we had just gotten back to Colorado and it was just like this kind of like mayhem of the whole town's out and about, getting drunk, lighting shit on fire.
Nick, I got a really beautiful fleece moto jacket for my birthday, and Nick got it lit on fire. Nick got lit on fire while wearing my jacket.
Literally, she was like, "Oh, Nick lit my jacket on fire." No, I got lit on fire.
That's what I was going to ask. Did you light him on fire?
No, what
I was upset.
She was upset with me, and I was like, "No, literally, I was just standing by the big bonfire where they dump all the Christmas trees on it, and this giant tidal wave tsunami of flame came towards me, and they had to pat me out. It was really kind of scary.
I wasn't concerned about you at all.
No, and which I'm kind of huh.
Wait, didn't you tell me you had people at one of your tables the other day ask
this is
what
funny.
our small little mountain town had to do with Viking mythology?
Yeah, no, they were Chileans that were coming in to eat, and they were asking about the Viking culture, what is Colorado's connection to Norse culture. And I was like, oh no, it's just because it's snowy. It's just snowy. And they were like, what do you mean? And they were like, with the Nordic skiing and the Ulerfest. I'm like, and the Viking horns. I'm like, no, it's literally just for fun. It's
Exactly.
Yeah,
it's
he was
purely
no
cosmetic.
connection. They thought it was settled by the Vikings here, and that's
You should have kept that going.
Yeah,
I know. We're like,
just spread rumors across Chile of all of Colorado.
Here.
yeah,
All the way from over in Norway.
The moguls.
Yeah, they brought the moguls over for the ski resort.
yeah. I don't know, but they were really let down by that. They just didn't. They just.
I think I would have
Broke
been
their poor
too.
Chilean hearts.
I know, I did, but whatever, fuck them. Here we are. So guys, one of the reasons why we want to have Adam on is we literally have a really funny story. When we first came to Breckenridge, Adam was our first friend.
Yeah, he was well, we weren't even friends yet, but he was
No,
the
no,
first person that we knew and met. Do you want us to tell it from our point of view, or you first saw?
No, go ahead.
Well, okay, so Nick and I posted a photo, or I posted a photo of Nick and I on Facebook, the Summit County Housing Connection. And I was like, hey, my brother and I need a place to stay. We're really cool. We snowboard. And then Adam messaged us. Yeah. And he was just like, yo, you and your brother seem you literally said simpatico. And he was like, I think it could work out. I have a room. I could give you guys 3 months.
Yeah, exactly.
Which, how funny. I went back and reread the messages yesterday. We were like, yeah, because first you offered and then we said no thanks. We found somewhere. I didn't remember that.
You had another spot lined up or something like that. Fine.
And then the guy that we all these places fell through because it's impossible to find housing up here.
Impossible.
And then we were like, oh, well, the guy we want to be with, or the guy we were going to live with, wants to sign a year lease. And we were like, we're only going to be here for 3 months.
Right, of course. Like everyone says.
Yeah,
It's 3 years as of New Year's. Will be 3 years
as of New Year's, yeah.
Which is wild.
New Year's is your
Yeah, we moved here January 2nd, 2020.
Awesome. Gotcha.
But I guess we're moving out January 1st this year.
Where are you guys going?
Denver.
Oh, you're going down the hill.
Yeah,
All right.
down the hill.
Down the hill.
There you go.
Yeah, we're moving to Rhino.
All right.
Mm-hmm. But I've left 3 times.
I know. And then we lived in Aspen for a bit, so it was just kind of
you guys have left multiple times. We'll see you again in a year. Right?
Yeah, that's what Eric said.
Not.
Yeah.
I told my employer, I was like, hey, I'm leaving. And he was like, good. But, if you ever want to come back, which you probably will, you can always come back.
We've all done it.
I know.
How did you end up here?
I moved out literally just to ski when I was about 20. Same deal. Same.
Oh, wow.
No way.
Yeah. I've been in Breck for, I don't know, a little over 10 years.
What? I didn't know that.
Where are you from?
Originally Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
There's not much skiing to do
So you
there,
graduated from college, I'm assuming.
exactly.
Where'd you go?
At UWM, right in Milwaukee.
Okay. And then you're like, I'm just going to go ski for a little bit and like see what I want to do.
Yeah. I wanted to move out here and get just a break from the Midwest. There's not a ton to do out there.
Yeah.
There
If
is.
you guys have ever been, but
We grew up in St. Louis, Missouri.
Yeah, you get it. You get it.
Yeah.
So there wasn't a ton to do out there. I was just looking for a cool summer job, and I landed a job as a whitewater raft guide. That was my first job right out here in Colorado. Yeah.
Were you like into rafting?
No, I had no idea what I was doing.
Nice.
So
That's what kind of fucks me up with those raft guides. They're literally just like, oh, that sounds fun. I'll go lead people through treacherous waters.
you come out, you do training, and then they're like, here you go.
Here you go.
So as long as you pass your training and you get through it, which is like a month of just brutal swims, flipping boats, all that fun stuff, they check you out and away you go. And I thought this was a cool idea. So I was sitting at home at college, and this company that I worked for hired me on. Like, cool, we'll see you in a week.
Yeah.
Okay, great. I'm on my way.
And like raft guide culture is even like it's a whole own thing besides even ski culture.
I don't know what you're talking about, but yes. Yes.
I don't know if we talked about it on here. We visited our friend who's a raft guide.
Sure.
Down in Buena Vista. And they all of them lived in abandoned buses and vans in a dirt lot.
None of them could drive. Maybe a couple of them could, but it was just a dirt lot with a fence. There was 20 something dogs.
Oh, bougie. They had a fence.
Yeah. Big fence. And they all lived, and he was like, oh, you want to like see where I'm living? And I'm like, but like just thinking of like the amount of girls that would end up back in those vans is terrifying.
Raft guys.
No, I know. Because they don't shower.
They don't. Because they jump in the lake. You know? Or the river. Yeah. How long did you raft guide?
I did it for about 3 seasons.
Oh, wow.
So 3 summers, but you're only there for 3 months out of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then moving on. So that kind of naturally led itself to working at a ski resort. So I worked over at Winter Park for a while doing it there before I moved to Breck.
Okay.
Yeah.
Isn't Winter Park just like so close to Breck that just kind of makes you want to move to Breck?
Kind of. I mean, the culture in Breck is a lot better.
Yeah.
There's just more going on here.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
The skiing's amazing in Winter Park. It was a fun couple of seasons, but it's a better town here in Breck.
Yeah. We have like a whole town.
We have a whole town.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, so I guess back to the story.
Sure. Yeah.
You messaged us, and then, well, go ahead, Nick.
Well, I just kind of was like, I let Francesca do the Facebook stuff.
Sure.
You know, I was like, Francesca, just find me a place to live, please. You know, like I'm like,
we're both in charge of very specific different things.
Exactly.
Like filming and setting up lighting. Like Adam was like, where do you want to film this? How are you setting up? I was like, I don't know. Like that's Nick's department.
Yeah. And so you were just like figuring it out. And so I was like, all right. And you're like, oh, we're going to stay with this guy for like a month. And I'm like, okay, cool.
You said you give us 3 months.
Yeah.
But then like a couple days before we came out, you were like, hey, just to let you know, my friend quit his job in Denver and I'm going to give him the room, which is now our friend Kyle.
Exactly.
Which, of course, it's your place. Like, we never faulted you. We were like, oh, shit, though.
Because I get it. Like, it's impossible to live here. Like, if your friend's coming back, fuck us. You've never met us.
Yeah.
It's fine.
It wasn't like...
No, he was just like, I'm sorry. Like, he's moving in. And, well, we were there. I think we stayed at your place for, you gave us like 2 weeks.
Yeah, something like that.
And it's funny. So, as I was looking at the messages, you were traveling.
Yeah.
So, you weren't like, you had said like, yeah, it's cool. But then we didn't have like an address from you yet and like a for sure or like a price or whatever.
Semi off the grid.
So like I was like, oh, hey, I'm going to visit my boyfriend in Aspen. And I was like, Nick just drove up from Denver. So like Nick was in Breck. He went skiing all day.
No, I went to Keystone because I was with a friend from St. Louis who lived in Denver. So we drove all the way out here and we skied Keystone all day, but I still didn't have an address. And my friend's like, are you like moving to Breckenridge? I'm like, I'm literally trying.
Checking your watch. Like,
no, because like we didn't want to like creep you out and be like, hey, like, yo. And it was just kind of like, okay, like, like Nick's there. I'll come tomorrow. Right. And so I think it was like 4 p.m. Like you answered, you're like, all right, here's the address. Like I'll see you like whatever. So
I'm just out at the bar like, okay, cool.
Like, oh, safe. Because it was too cold to sleep in your car. So his next move was he was going to drive back down to Denver. We had friends in Denver.
Okay. Yeah. I was just going to say with my friends.
But we didn't know one person in this town at all when we moved here. So he was like, all right, I guess I'll just drive back to Denver. But then... So we got in, it's unfurnished. So Nick and I just sleep on the floor in this empty bedroom.
Yeah, in the second bedroom.
For a couple days. And then I was gone. And then you were there when he came home.
Okay, well, it was weird because you were gone for a bit. And like the thing was like
we hadn't paid you, we hadn't met you, we were just at your house.
You didn't ask me for money. You didn't, it was just like you pay me but I'm a complete stranger from Facebook, just complete.
Also, the place is like really nice, like on peak 8. Like
it was nice. And then your Facebook profile. Oh, thank you. Nice. I'm really glad to hear that. But like your Facebook profile is just you generally in ski goggles. So I didn't even know what you looked like.
Sure.
Then I'm looking around your apartment and there's just like a lot of photos of you, like not a lot, but like multiple of you just skydiving. I'm like, Francesca, I think he's an avid skydiver.
I don't know who this guy is or what he's doing.
I have no idea. And so I'm just like chilling on the couch and then you just burst into the room. Or not into the house. And then you were like, oh, hey, what's up, man? And I was like, oh, there you are. I
was late to work. I had to go.
Yeah. And we were exclusive. So we had met like a bunch of people like around or people we might live with, but we were trying to keep them all straight. And we didn't know what they all looked like. So we just called him Daddy. We were like, because our parents were like, who are you living with? We're like, okay, so this guy's name, like we had like Crazy Pants. And we were like, this is who we're living with. We were like, I don't know, it's Daddy. Like Daddy's giving us a place to stay. So Nick's like, okay, like, so Daddy skydives. And then you text me and you're like, Daddy came home today.
Well, you burst into the apartment, rip your shirt off. And I'm just like, he's like, hey, I got to take a shower. I'm late to work. Good to see you. You're fucking ripped. And I was just like, okay. And then you shower and then you're like, yeah, gotta go. Still haven't asked me for money. And so I'm like, Francesca, just met Daddy. He's definitely Daddy. And still haven't paid him. He is left again. I don't know. And it worked out.
No, it did.
It worked out perfectly.
Yeah.
And then...
Happy to help.
Yeah. But then you also got us into our next place.
Yeah.
Because we couldn't find a place. And he was like, oh, my friend just bought a condo like 2 days ago.
Right.
And he was like, I'll connect you. And the only reason that worked out is he thought we were like good friends of yours from back home.
Nice.
Yeah. So there was like a miscommunication there that like worked out in our favor.
Yeah.
I know, but I think you had said something about him like, oh, like you just need to meet him.
Yeah.
And you said it with like a asterisk above like meet,
He's an odd duck.
Yeah.
He's an odd duck.
Yeah.
To death, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so then we met him and this man is just crazy,
He's just the craziest person we know. And I would say for the better, like because we like moved in with him and if his place is like unrenovated, it's awesome. An amazing place, but we called it the Shag and Wagon because like 3 inches of red shag carpet. And he's just like a wild man. But it was good because we met everyone in town.
I started hanging out at the bar that I used to work at. So all that bar, I didn't even work there and everyone like got to know me really quickly.
Right.
It was just like a really good, like I loved how Summit County like really like adopted us quickly. Like pretty much within 3 months, it was like, oh, you're like here to stay. Like, why don't you just like hang out and be friends with everyone? And that's like, I feel like a lot of people have that experience here, but a lot of people don't.
It's true.
Yeah. Because also COVID happened 3 months later.
COVID happened.
And so it was like, I think that if we would have been in Keystone or Winter Park and we weren't like showed into like the group of everyone, or felt like we belonged, we would have just like moved home. And then, God, I don't know what
I probably would.
Where you'd be.
Where were you during COVID?
Between here and no, I was here most of the time.
Were you?
Yeah, I was kind of hunkered down in Summit County.
Were you?
Yeah, in and out, doing skiing and riding bikes, doing all that fun stuff, just trying to keep yourself occupied because there's nothing else to do.
What else were you going to do?
Exactly.
Yeah. And I feel like did you hang out with Kyle a lot, our mutual friend?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Because he was always doing fun things.
Yep.
Kyle, I call him Colorado Kyle because he really does. Like, he's such a fucking straight dude that just wants to go hang out in the mountains forever.
He's the epitome of it.
He's literally the epitome of the Colorado bro.
Right.
He loves to like explain things to people too. So if you've never done like whitewater rafting, like he will show you the ropes.
Yeah.
He will take you on the adventure.
Yeah.
So like it is like his own little like tourism service, like Colorado Kyle.
Yeah. And I guess I did hang out with you once during COVID. We went snowshoeing.
Really?
You've been snowshoeing?
Okay.
Yeah, at McCullough Gulch.
Okay.
Not McCullough Gulch. Where's the one with the cabin? Maybe it's Cucumber or there's a cabin
Right underneath the gondola.
No.
Okay.
It's like on the back side of Breck. And there's a cabin that you can walk to. And
You sure this was me?
Yeah, it was.
I don't normally go snowshoeing.
I think you might have been skiing or something.
Like skinning?
And no, what it was, I remember actually. You guys were gonna go do like big boy outdoor shit, and then Kyle just had like snowshoes. He was like, "Nick, you go have fun," because I didn't have skins.
We had a blast.
I did, except I hate snowshoeing.
Me too.
Yeah, and I was kind of like, this fucking sucks. But
It's like a hike, but hard.
yeah, it's like makes walking really, really hard. I guess easier than through snow. Yeah, and then. You guys, but I think there was like avalanche problems that you guys were having, and then you kind of turned back quickly, and then I was just like, all right, well, I've just been kind of walking in a circle by myself.
It's great up here, guys. You had a whole ring, worn out and snow.
I probably just sat that whole thing out.
Yeah.
I don't know where you were with that.
I've never been snowshoeing.
That was the first and only and last time.
If you were in a pinch, would tennis rackets work?
I think so.
Yeah.
Never tried it, but it seems like you just
Like, 'cause it's just surface area.
Well, these
yeah, it's just surface area.
yeah.
Could I put 2 pieces of plywood on my foot?
You could.
Like, okay.
Yeah. Pretty much
In a
like
pinch.
in a pinch. Like from what? Like do you
In a
need to
pinch,
cross
you
the
have
frozen?
nothing else.
No,
You have nothing else,
I
but you have these giant things of plywood in your house, and you're like, I have to go. I'm taking those.
Yeah.
Wait.
No, have you been able to not get across something? Because this has happened to me before.
Like a frozen lake?
No, not a frozen lake. But one time when I was going to my interview in Breck, like our first few weeks, on Peak 7, the 2 buildings.
Okay.
Whatever.
Up
right
at the
there.
top.
Yeah, but one of them has like the office for like an interview or something. I like thought I would walk between them, but that was the year that there was like 20, 40 inches of snow. I got stuck. I like sunk all the way up to my chest.
Yeah.
And it was like 40 minutes. I was late for my interview. I was sweating. I was crying.
Only you had the giant plywood with you. You know what I mean?
No, because you have to swim out of it.
Right. Yeah.
Like you literally, and so I'm literally like dying outside of this office building, but no one's like around right there.
Were you waving at people?
No one was coming by because it wasn't by the ski resort. I was like, I might die here in a very public place. It's awful.
Actually, last year when we got back, we were staying above Gold Pan, which is a bar in town, and we were watching a giant Great Pyrenees, and it got out.
He was not a Great Pyrenees.
Or Newfoundland. In Newfoundland. And anyway, every time he would open the door, he would try to make a run for it.
Whose dog is this?
Adrian.
Okay.
He used to work the door
Adrian?
there.
I think so.
He's like a writer. He's a redhead. We love him.
He works at Taos right now. But anyway, his, Newfoundland got out and you had to go chase him. And didn't you fall into a snow trap? What was that?
That was like another one of those stories. It was Christmas. It was Christmas Day. No. So the dog gets out. He was big. He was like 150, 180 pounds. And I was going down the steps at the back of Gold Pan and he pulled the leash too hard. And it was either like, I'm going to face plant and maybe knock my teeth out down these last 4 steps, or I drop the leash and catch myself. So I was like, fuck it. So I dropped the leash and he bolted, which Adrian said, stop calling me. I don't care. Figure it out. Like he was dealing with family problems, I guess bad family problems. And so, and then he was like, Bronson likes to bolt. And so
after the fact.
I'm like running and I fell into one of those. So it was like another thing, but I was in nice Christmas clothes. It was Christmas Day. I called mom and dad crying. I was like, this is what I'm doing. I've lost this person's dog. I
kind of just like, oh, I'm so sorry. I hope you like figure it out. Cause I was like at work or something. I just didn't even know how to handle it, but I don't know. Actually, I don't know if I need to go into the story, but this happened to me today.
Please.
Today, guys. Okay. I can't believe I haven't told you about this, Francesca. I thought for sure I would tell you immediately when I walked into the house. Guys, it was some Final Destination shit. I'm driving down 9, okay, back from like
Highway 9 is like the main highway between where we live in Frisco and then Breckenridge.
And there was a car, like a giant like truck, not a semi truck, but like pretty much that size, and it was holding a whole bunch of lumber, like giant, like really long 2x4s that were probably like 30 feet long. So they were really long and skinny, but flimsy.
And you're driving right behind it.
No. I'm driving on the opposite side. Okay, so it's coming towards me, and I'm going like that. Something happened to where like one flew off and caught with the wind, but it went forward. Okay, so it like caught the wind and then went like literally shot like a Francesca.
A javelin.
Okay, I'm sorry, like, because I just like really like this happened to me today, and
How did you walk in the house and not?
I literally, until you said long, skinny, like 2x4, that's like kind of what like I thought of. It flew off, okay, and then was fucking hurling like a goddamn Halley's Comet towards me, okay, on Highway 9. And so what I did is I just was like, oh, and I was like very closely paying attention to the road though.
Thank God.
And I just like went to the next lane, and the other person was kind of like, Now I didn't like cut them off, but it was like kind of close. And then it hit right on the side of the median in the snow. So like right in there, but it wouldn't have hit me if I didn't stay, but it literally launched towards me like a javelin.
That could have been it.
I know, that could have been it. And I was just thinking like, that was probably
you would die something
feet.
Weird like that.
It was 4 feet from me if I wouldn't have gotten over it. But it's almost like a wink from death. Like, haha, I could fucking end you right now.
My eye on you. Yeah.
That happened today. Coming back from the gym at like 11.
And everyone has that Final Destination fear. I feel like it got seared into all of our minds. Like when you're driving behind like someone carrying pipes.
Log trucks.
Yes.
Log trucks. Yeah.
You're like
100%. Anytime you see one.
Mm-hmm. So I was just
but I've never seen something fall off of a truck and go forward.
Yeah, like
that's what was really weird about it, because the
truck's moving forward, I guess, but you would think it.
But I think it was moving forward, and it like caught the wind and like somehow like javelin towards me. It was the craziest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah,
I mean,
glad you're still with us.
Like this month, okay?
This month,
I know. Yeah, right. I don't know, but that was just my quick gym story today. Never a dull moment. Just going to the gym. No.
Do you feel like now you have like a new lease on life? Like, was it that much of a near-death experience?
No, I don't know. I just kind of like, I was just sort of thinking about it. Just like that could have been so bad. Like if it would have hit my
I almost
car.
wish it would have hit your car. Like a little. Just like a little bit. Not like through your windshield, but just like it would have been a better story.
Would have been bad.
I know. Right.
It's because your car is like a phantom.
Yeah.
His car doesn't exist.
It's a small little car.
It's
Go on.
No one knows that Nick has a car. First of all, I didn't know that in Brack. Like people were like, Nick, you have a car? Because we always drive mine. But he has like a tiny little Focus. It's manual. I don't know. I just feel like he's invisible. Like nothing could hit you.
No, I know. Nothing could hit me in this car. I actively tell people I don't have a car.
You have snow tires on that thing?
I do.
No, you don't.
Focus.
You have all weather tires.
I have all weather, snow tire, all weather.
It's not a snow tire.
Not really. I get stuck in like 2 inches of snow. It's like literally like Mario Kart Rainbow Road going down like the street. And I've gotten really good at drifting it.
Of course.
And I just kind of like
Nick's just used to like Mario Karting it around. We drove yours tonight.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Because I don't have insurance. They canceled. I forgot to pay it.
Yeah.
I'm going to do that tomorrow. I go, Nick, can we drive your car? He goes, oh, why? Because that would mean you have to drive home and like not drink as much. And he was like, why me? And I was like, I don't have insurance. So
no. Checkmate.
Yeah. Checkmate. Right. There we go.
We got off topic.
I know. We always do this. I'm sorry, Adam. I was just speaking at you,
Wait, I think that people need to hear. I'm down. Let's just I would love to hear your whole story. So when we were randomly meeting him, didn't know him, Adam was before that doing a tuk-tuk race from the top to the bottom of India.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you came back for a day and closed a house.
Right.
And then went to surprise your girlfriend in Mexico.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you give us a little background on that? And how that's a wild story.
No, I just love everything that you said. Like it just kept going. And then surprise your girlfriend.
Yeah,
ladies and gentlemen, this man is not single. Okay?
No, but she wasn't your girlfriend yet.
No, we've been like kind of.
Yeah, but I feel like this is like kind of a defining moment.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Give us your background of like the whole thing. Also, how do you get into a tuk-tuk race? Explain to the people what a tuk-tuk is. I'm sure not everyone knows.
Colorado Kyle.
Of course.
No. So this was something that had been an idea of ours for a long time. We lived in New Zealand for a while, and we met some guys that were also down for this crazy idea. And it's exactly what you said. A tuk-tuk it's a 3-wheeled cart, essentially, that's enclosed on 3 sides, but the rest of it is wide open air.
Yeah, like the pedicab drivers kind of thing, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a pedicab driver with essentially a tarp over the top.
But it's it has a motor, though.
It does have a motor. No, I wouldn't have pedaled across India.
I thought that's what you guys did.
No.
It's gas powered. Like
Okay.
gas powered, yeah.
It's
like a
still
golf
wild, but all right.
It's like a 3-wheeled golf cart. That's
a little fast.
It's a little fast. Yeah.
Okay.
So we got on this whole circuit with this idea where you go to India, they give you a tuk-tuk, and they let you loose in the northern part of India.
What happens if you fuck it up?
It's on you. It's on you. They don't give you a route. They don't give you.
No. What if like you fling it into a pond? Then you just owe them for that, or do you just you're renting it?
You pay like a deposit. You're essentially renting this thing.
Yeah, but like, how much would you have to pay? Well, it's India.
It's a tuk-tuk. It's
$300, not even $300, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Maybe 1,000. I don't know. It was very, very cheap.
Yeah.
So
like a golf cart's like 5,000, right?
Golf carts are $5,000.
How much?
No,
I don't know the golf cart market.
I have no idea.
Maybe a really, really nice one.
Okay.
But
so there's how many people in this tuk-tuk with you?
You can fit 3 in a tuk-tuk.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Some people had more, some people had less, but it was me and a couple of good friends. And they give you this tuk-tuk in the northern part of India. They literally let you loose against all these other teams. And they say, hey, we'll see you on the other end on the southern part of India in 2.5 weeks. Good luck. Go. That was it.
Which is the size of Europe, by the way.
It's enormous.
2.5 weeks?
Yeah. It was wild. So every day you're just plotting out your route and you're going, just trying to figure out how we're going to get down to this city.
Literally how? So you have to look at like a map or does Google Maps work?
Oh yeah. Yeah. You could use Google Maps, or sometimes we had physical maps and you had no idea where you were. Everything was written in.
So they don't give you a route. They're not like, here's the race route.
Don't go here. Don't go here. They don't tell you
like you might die if you go there.
None of that. If you break down, if you take a wrong turn, it's like, figure it out. So
we should pitch this as a show. This is like The Amazing Race, but could be like.
That's what everyone says. Yeah. It's like The Amazing Race, and it's just chaos. It's chaos. Like tuk-tuks are flipping over. Some are getting hit by semis. People have to go home. It's like, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. So yeah, you figure out which way you want to go every day. You're driving between 4 and 12 hours just trying to make your next destination as you're plotting your way across India. It's wild.
And I feel like what I know of you is like you're pretty good under pressure.
Yeah.
And Kyle is pretty good-ish.
Sure.
But I feel like, could you imagine the stress? Like, I would never do this with you, Francesca.
No, I still think we should be on The Amazing Race. I think it'd be great for TV.
I'd want you in my tuk-tuk.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd
Nick
want you.
Nick wouldn't choose me for his team. That's for sure. I was telling Adam earlier about the couch.
Oh,
I was like, we moved a couch and I cried 3 times.
No.
If a couch is doing that to you, maybe a tuk-tuk's a little bit.
Emotional.
India's no fucking joke, especially with logistics and plans. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You've been there.
I've traveled solo throughout Europe. I can do things.
No, it's completely different.
I know it's India. I know. Nick told me actually never to go to India. He goes, it's not for you.
It's not for you. Well, no, just like you were saying, like what were some of the like obstacles that you ran in? Like, did you run into a camel
obstacle?
Literally anything.
What are the
day one camels in the highway as you're driving
camels
out
in
of the
highway.
desert? Yeah, I got 1,000 pictures of it. There's camels just crossing the highway. There's cows everywhere. There's no traffic direction whatsoever. Cars are coming from every which way. There's pedestrians walking everywhere. There's
no rules of the road, Francesca.
I can't, Nick. I'm physically upset right now thinking about it.
You honk your horn and hope for the best.
I can't even drive in Denver. You know how nice it's been living up here where it's 20 miles an hour?
Yeah, of course.
And 10 cars on the road.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know. Sorry, continue.
What else did you run into? I mean, like
having a panic attack.
Yeah. It was just all sorts of stuff like that. Our tuk-tuk broke down a bunch.
So then you have to hire someone local?
Yeah.
To like fix it.
Yeah. We don't speak the language. We're trying to figure this out. And
yeah,
it's crazy. Like you never feel unsafe and you never feel you do feel out of place. Anytime this tuk-tuk dies or stops running, people see this because it's colored brightly and different from every other tuk-tuk on the road. And people come flocking because they see 3 white guys or 3 white people sitting in a tuk-tuk. And like, what is this doing here?
Yeah.
You know? But everyone wants to help. They come over and suddenly you're swarmed by 20 people who are peeking in the back. I guess you'd call it the hood of this tuk-tuk on the back door, trying to help you out and figure out exactly what's going wrong. So yeah, mechanical breakdowns, running into camels, crazy traffic. Like it's.
So where do you sleep?
We would find hotels along the way. Everything's crazy cheap.
Yeah. I did know that about it.
Mm-hmm. Even if they do try to be like, oh, these white guys have money, I'm going to charge them the most amount of money. It'll be like $20 maybe at the highest amount that you could possibly think of.
See, but were there groups of like 3 girls?
Yeah.
Were there?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the only thing. I just I've known personally like friends who have been to India and it's like, oh yeah, like it's super fine. Like great. Loved it.
It is.
Sometimes until it's not though. Like as like a girl, they're like, oh yeah, I kind of had to like hold myself up in my hotel room or like my like hostel room because they were like trying to kidnap me. I'm like,
I'd never heard anything like that while we were there. Did you?
I have. Okay. And I've heard of lots of like weird, like sexual predators and stuff happening there. But that's more going to be like with solo women.
Yeah.
So we just took a little break. We're back. We made a couple more hot toddies. We tried to make the hot toddies with tequila and, what was our word we all decided on? Interesting.
Interesting. Yeah.
Interesting.
So they have that. I immediately poured myself French rosé.
Yeah.
So anyone who listens knows.
Yeah.
I was like, I tried to do something different.
I've tried to make a hot toddy with gin. It doesn't work.
It's gross.
Doesn't work. Well, no. You would think it would make sense. Like,
stick to basics.
Like, a little piney with the honey. Like,
I wish like,
work, but
I mean, I know there are some whiskeys, like I'm sure I could seek them out and find like gluten-free whiskeys.
Yeah.
Cause I feel like it's just such a warming drink.
Yeah.
So for the like, but I don't know. What do you do? Carry it around with me? Like you can't order it at a bar. Like, do you have gluten-free whiskey? They're like, I'm sorry, ma'am. Please leave.
No.
Doors that way.
Doors that way.
Doors like I'll just have a rosé. But no, you're showing us pictures. You were just telling us one of your tuk-tuks broke down and then you were telling... Go ahead and tell the little ice cream story.
So this was just the ice cream story.
I just think it's so cute.
I know. So when we broke down one of the multiple times that we broke down in India and we had to get stuff fixed, we stayed in this little village. I couldn't even tell you the name of where we were at. We just ended up off the road. Some folks wanted to help us out. They ended up towing our tuk-tuk to their village and we stayed... Yeah, it's unreal how willing people are to help. So tuk-tuks broke down. We're looking at it and we're like, all right, we know the 3 different things that it might be, and it's none of that. We blew a piston, by the way, blew a hole right in it. Anyways, so we're laid up for the night and we're bumming around this town and we got to know all the families that live there, right? And so all these kids were running around. There was this little guy making shaved ice or ice cream. Right. And all the parents were like, no, we're not doing that. And so we asked the guy, we're like, how much is it for one of these ice creams? Oh, 20 cents. Sure. Buy all these kids ice creams as much as they want. So yeah, that photo was. So
he showed us a photo of like 20 kids like lined up to get ice cream. Yeah. Okay. But so you go adorable. From the north to the south. Mm-hmm.
So I've never been to the south of India.
Well, we went to like Goa, which is right on the coast. Yeah.
Do you like the South more? I hear the South is kind of like cooler.
We were so transient while we were there. Yeah. We spent maybe a night in every single spot, but Goa is cool. It's this little surf village right on the coast, and it was more laid back than the rest of India. Like the North is, it's got its own thing.
Like less religious.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So then you flew back to America. Mm-hmm. So is it like a race? Like they rank people? Okay.
No, it was very much like a loose race. It was basically saying, get to the end and you're good.
Yeah.
Get there in one piece. So there's plenty of teams that didn't make it to the end, had to fly home.
No.
Like, hey, my tuk-tuk is trashed. I'm not going to make it to the finish. Exactly.
Okay. So then you flew back to America, and then that's when you burst in, saw Nick.
Was that then?
I don't know.
I think this was on the same timeline.
When did you get back from
India? Is this a different time?
I don't know. Maybe.
Let's pretend it is because it's better for the story.
Sure.
He comes in because you didn't start staying there. You left right again for somewhere. So I would assume that would be the only because you were gone for another 2 weeks.
Yeah. I was in and out of that place for a while.
Yeah. No, I just loved this story. So you were seeing a girl.
Yep.
Tell this story. So you literally come back from India. You have a day.
Yeah.
And then.
So this whole time while I'm in India, I'm still doing real estate. I'd been doing it for a couple of years at that point. And it's not like this isn't a job where you can completely shut it off. Mm-hmm. You know, you have responsibilities, you have things going on. So in the midst of all this chaos of India, you're driving around, you're swerving around cows and you're spotting your driver and you're like, all right, watch out for that. Meanwhile, I'm still looking at stuff going, all right, the inspection came back. We should address this, and this. Okay, I think this is going to be fine. So you're still working. And in the midst of all this, I did have a closing that I had to get back for. So as you were saying, I literally flew back from India, drove right up to Summit, went right into closing, and was talking to the builder on the house we were closing on. She looks at me and goes, where have you been? Because I had this huge beard. I was super tan. I'd been in the sun for a month.
Yeah.
And I was like, I was in India. Let's do this. Let's get this all finished up and I'll tell you more about it. So, closed up the house. And in the meantime, I had been talking to this girl. And if anyone knows Brooke, she's amazing. She's incredible. She's been my girlfriend for almost 4 years.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So as we were doing this, I was talking to her. So all the while through India, I was talking to her the whole time. And she was leaving on a trip right as I was getting back from India. And she's like, hey, I'm going down to Mexico. I'm going to be gone for like a week. It'd be cool if you were here, but whatever, I'll see you when you get back. And of course, as I'm talking to her and like, I have so much work that I need to catch up on. I've been gone for almost a month. Yeah. I got to catch up. Meanwhile, of course, I have the phone in my ear and I'm typing up flights to Mexico at the same time going, yeah, I can make this work. So all of her friends that were on this trip too. Okay. And so I got in touch with them. I said, hey, don't tell Brooke, but I'm flying in. I'll be there at whatever, 5 p.m. or whatever it was. Right. So within a day, I got back from India, closed a house, got back on a plane that night and flew out and was back in
Jesus Christ.
down in Mexico that
and just showed up and like, she didn't even know he was coming. Mm-hmm. Just like walked on the beach and was like, hey.
Yeah, it could have gone very wrong. Could have gone very, very wrong.
Because they weren't like official yet. And he was like, oh no, I'm just going to like.
Gone on a couple dates and it was great. I'm glad it worked out.
Well, it's very much worked out.
Yeah. When I like work out, get some podcast stuff done, and then go to work in the same day, I feel like I am just like the man of the hour. Right. But you like got back from India, closed the house, went and surprised your girl.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, that's the type of energy I want to live in. Like,
Well, that's kind of like the friends that we do have on this podcast is like the friends that are kind of, I would say, just sort of not like everybody has everything figured out, but who are kind of like living this. Nick, help me out with the words I'm looking for. I know you know what I'm trying to say.
Just like this really adventurous lifestyle that people truly go out and do things and continue.
But you've just gone for it and you've like done very well for yourself. And then just being able to do what you want at the time that you want to do it and kind of do these crazy things. Like that's like when I used to work for Yacht Week, I would always explain to people that it's the type of person, a lot of people have money, but the type of person who wants to spend this amount of money meeting random people, living on a boat, which is basically like a floating RV, even though it's like sold as fancy, but it kind of is. But it's like they want to do it meeting people and doing wild things. Like you could have done anything, but you wanted to go through India, then you're still getting your work done, making sure you see the people you care about. Like that's kind of like in my mind and what Tim Ferriss says in his book, The 4-Hour Workweek, that's like the new rich. Being able to do what you want when you want to and being adventurous and having that. So that's, I think
rich experience is what you're saying.
Yeah. Sure. Like experiences over things. And that's like I would say one of the biggest reasons we wanted to have you on, because also in Summit County, like you're living your best Summit County life because you get to travel a lot. You got into real estate, which I would say, which is so funny. In this town, you're either industry, so like a server, a bartender, skiing, which is a different industry, ski instructor, transient, or you own a business here, or you're a real estate agent. That's kind of what you've got. Three. Yeah, for sure. There's definitely, like, of course, other things. But like, what made you choose real estate? And kind of a funny question I wanted to ask you is, what would you say to people who like see real estate as like when people like give up? No, you know, like you've been very successful with it, but it's one of those things that it's like, oh, like you were a bartender and you got your real estate license. Like, okay, like that's the natural.
I've seen all the memes. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah. The whole hierarchy of how you progress and get into it. Yeah.
So like, what do you think, like, well, one, how'd you get into it? And then what do you think like makes it like a real career for someone, and instead of like someone just like doing it to,
it's
and then get out of it?
The time you put into it.
Okay.
At first, a lot of people get into this career thinking it's going to be, you know, really easy money and they're just going to glide through it. So getting started is kind of tough, you know, so it relies a lot on the people that you know in town, and just kind of developing it from there. But the first couple of years of it are hard. They're really hard.
And it like weeds people out.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Like, how long have you been doing it?
A little over 4 years.
4 years.
Yeah. So I'm still relatively new in the whole thing too.
I have a confession. Yep. I literally don't understand real estate.
Cool.
I don't understand real estate. I don't understand real estate agents. I don't understand how you can sell a house if you don't own it. I don't like mortgage, finance. Like I literally, what the fuck do you do on a daily basis? Like, you know what I mean?
Someone was telling us, we like had a friend from home. We were like drunk at a wedding over Thanksgiving. She's like, oh yeah, I bought a house. And I was like, oh my God, like my largest financial asset are my AirPods. And she laughed like as if I was joking. Yeah. I wasn't. Mm-hmm. What's your largest asset?
My largest asset?
That you had no help with?
My hair.
How much money do you think you've put into that?
No, I'm just.
It's expensive.
I've put like
look at it.
I've put like $300 into this color. I'm getting a trim tomorrow. No, I'm just saying it's my best asset.
No, I'm saying like your largest financial
what do I
asset.
Own?
Yeah.
Oh,
that you had no help on.
My social media followers.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't
Adam,
own, are you asking if I own capital? Like,
no.
Okay, like, no. Like, what, you know, and I don't have a car, wink. But, yeah. But even if I did have a car, it would only be worth like $1,000, you know?
Yeah. So, okay. If we came to you, I was going to say, in a world where we own nothing, we don't. Do we have a savings? No, absolutely not. There, I transferred it. Like, it's this cute little thing I do every month where like my savings account, like I have a set amount that gets transferred into it. And then each month I transfer it back into my checking because I need it.
I've literally never opened a savings account. I have crypto. And that's tanking.
That qualifies as your savings account.
Yeah, that's where I keep my money, but it just keeps going down.
Gotcha.
We used to have money in crypto, and we felt pretty good about that.
Pretty much all of my winter money last year I put in crypto, and then it just literally disappeared into thin air. So
no, one of the coins he had, we need to have a crypto person on this to also like get into that, but it just disappeared. Mm-hmm. So like,
do you know about crypto?
Sometimes coins
Luna?
Can just collapse.
Luna
goes to zero and you're out.
No, it got delisted.
So then it doesn't. I'm like, where did that money go?
Mm-hmm. Apparently, they were airdropping people money like $19.
Nice.
What? Like, as like a sorry?
Yeah, or like here's what you got.
As a sorry.
Yeah.
What? Okay, so if you're talking to us and we wanted to think about owning a piece of anything, what would our first steps be?
Your first steps, figure out what it is you could financially do. Now with all of your Luna backing, you know.
Yeah, I'm one of those crypto billionaires. So.
Sneaky crypto billionaire. No. Yeah. You figure out, you honestly just drill down to what you're trying to do. Are you trying to own a house? Do you want some land? Do you want a condo? Anything?
Let's say a condo in Breck.
Okay, sure. You have options.
What's the median price here in Breck?
Well, it depends on, again, what you're looking for. Single family homes, you're not going to find them for under $1 million. Condos now, even studios you're lucky if it's under $500,000.
Okay.
Like it's crazy.
So $500,000. What do we need down?
For $500,000?
Depends on what kind of loan you're getting. So that's the whole, this is the great first starting point, right? So what you want to do is you want to talk to a lender. Very easy. And they figure out what you are able to do or what the bank is able to give you on a loan. Now, on top of that, there are different options on financing a home. So everyone thinks that you're going to put down 20%. Like, I need 20%, which on a $500,000 home is $100,000. You're like, oh, I can't. I'm not even going to look for a house. But there are different programs in place, especially here in Breckenridge, that can help you out. Okay, there's
like a first-time Colorado home buyer situation.
Sure.
Right?
I mean, you have FHA loans, which is your first-time home buyer. But Breckenridge is also doing something really cool that allows people to get into properties where they otherwise could not. And what I mean by that is the town will help you with a down payment on a property that you in no other way could afford. Okay. And they'll pay you between 20 and 30%. Of a home's value, but in exchange, you have to put a deed restriction on the property. Oh, okay. That's just saying, hey, I'm not going to rent it out. This is going to be local housing, but for folks who want to live here, work here, and be here, it's a great option.
That's cool. Is it because we're a tourist town, or do other places do that?
Deed restrictions are kind of everywhere, but this is just the little niche that is Breckenridge. Yeah, you know what I mean. There's just a lot going on with this town, where you have locals and you have this weird community of folks trying to get into housing. And so you have second home buyers who are buying these multi-million-dollar homes, and then you have the local workforce who couldn't afford that. So we're somewhere in the middle where we have to find houses for them.
Okay.
You know?
See, all of this is just so it's so foreign to me because I just have never, my brain just doesn't exist in this world.
Never explored it or never thought about seriously doing it.
Yeah, no, I just feel like I'm going to be given a
Wait, you got health insurance today?
I just got health insurance.
Step one.
You know? So
Step one, there you go.
I was looking through plans. I knew what they were.
Plans are plants.
I heard you call Dad.
I called Dad, yeah.
Yeah.
He was telling me the difference between an HMO. But no, so
we don't know what's going on.
I literally
I'm just out here hanging out.
All of it's a scam. It's so lame. But I don't know. I just feel like buying a house. Everyone, you just have to really work towards doing it. I feel like it can't be that hard. You know, and I know you just kind of need a lot of money, you know? No, I'm serious, right? You just got to work with people that you trust and 100%. Call upon the resources of your town.
Exactly.
And figure out and prove how much money you can sustain a month for whatever.
Yeah.
You know, and
that's the whole idea of a lender coming in.
Yeah.
Too. They're going to go through and just vet you very quickly on what you can afford and what you're able to do.
So what do you do?
I help you find the home that you're looking for.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So if we,
I love it.
I'm being so serious. I'm sorry. I'm asking the questions no one wants to ask. Okay.
That's why it's so funny.
So if I just come to you, I say, okay, Adam, I'm looking for this, and this is how much I make, and you're like, okay, maybe here are some options.
Exactly. That's step one.
And then do I pay you?
No, well, it depends on how you're doing it. If you're selling a house, usually that's how it works. So in Colorado, the seller side will pay commissions out. Okay. And what that means is if it's someone like you who's buying a house, you're not paying me.
Wow.
You don't pay me. The seller of a home is paying me to do this.
Okay. Yeah. So as a buyer, do you have access to all the homes that are for sale?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. It's not just this subset of the one. So if you're my agent and you're looking for places for me to buy,
of course,
is it only the ones you have relationships with, or you're just looking at the market for what might fit what I'm looking for?
Exactly. Okay. So if you're interested in houses in Breckenridge, I'm going to figure out exactly what it is you are able to do, what you're looking for, and trying to find the best way to meet in the middle on that.
Okay.
So I wouldn't be throwing you the mega mansions here in town.
That's all I'm interested in.
Yeah. Let's go take a look at
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'd be like, what income do you have coming in? I'd be like, listen, it's
not about money.
Yeah.
It's not about money.
Money is energy. And do you do influencer discounts?
I'd be like, I've been meditating a lot. I
just feel like things are coming towards me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Be like, you don't even understand the manifestation rituals I've been doing.
But yeah, us as brokers, we have access to the entire gamut of everything that's being bought and sold in Summit County and then the greater Colorado area.
Cool.
So even if you're looking in Denver, if you're looking elsewhere, I'm watching that too.
So as a new home buyer,
yeah.
What would be the difference between having a good agent and a bad agent? What's a bad agent not doing for me and what's a good agent doing for me?
Wow, that's such a good question.
Thank you.
Because I don't know what they do. So I'm just like, I don't know. They're just, I don't know. He's just at his desk, just fucking typing away.
What is the number one thing you would want out of someone finding you a home?
Well, now as a first time home buyer, you put me on the spot.
A hot tub.
I have my AirPods as collateral.
I'm not even talking about a physical home, but like if you're coming to someone to find you a house, what are you looking for? What do you want that person to do for you?
I would say not to get existential, but someone to actually listen to what I want.
Correct.
Because I feel like if I was looking for a house, I know the vibe that I want. That would be my main thing.
Sure.
Even no matter how much, are you laughing at me?
No, I'm just like, no, go on.
Because I feel like my main thing, even if it was smaller, I would want like a good view and like a lot of light. Mm-hmm. And I spend most of my time in the kitchen.
Wait, you can do that? Like you will be like, she wants kitchen light.
Yeah. 100%.
Okay.
Like I would need like a good kitchen area, lots of light for filming. And no, not that kind of filming. What was that face?
I thought it was just funny.
No, because for us, like I've talked about that with apartments with Nick and I, like our job is like TikToks and like Instagram and a podcast. So like if I don't have good light and like not good filming backgrounds in my house, like I don't want to live there. Yeah. But also like our whole family, even our mom and dad, like we spend all of our time hanging out, talking in the kitchen. I need a lot of light in the kitchen. I need it to be like friendly for the people. So if I had a real estate agent that showed me like a dark kitchen, I don't even care if it fits my budget. It's right in the place. It's like, I would never live there.
Right.
So yeah, someone to listen.
What if you found the perfect home that was within your budget? Would I need you?
And if you want to write the offer yourself, you can.
Oh, okay. Okay.
No. What I'm saying is like I encourage people, especially those who are investors in the market and people who are constantly buying and selling houses. I encourage them. I say, hey, go get your license. Absolutely, go do it. Like we provide a lot of value in the home buying process, and you hit it right on the head. The number one thing is communication. So if you need anything, if we're going through this and you're trying to buy a house, the number one thing is you're going to be able to call me, text me, email me, and I'm going to find the answers for you. It's communication number one. And you need to kind of trust that process where you're saying, hey, I want to find this house with this kitchen with a bunch of light. Go find it for me because you're not going to be scouring Zillow 24 hours a day. Or if you see a house that you like, you go, let's go take a look at this. And it's something that I'm looking at 24 hours a day.
Right.
Constantly looking for all these different people who are searching for that right home.
Okay. Because you've got like your hand on the pulse. What's the saying? Is that what it is?
Hand on the trigger?
No. Like your
finger on the pulse.
Finger on the pulse.
Nailed it.
That was it.
Nailed it.
Hand, finger.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, I just feel like I would love to own a home. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so I feel like I'm definitely going to need like a real estate agent.
Sure.
You know, here soon.
No, that's honestly, that's actually our goal, like in the mountains. Like we're moving to Denver because we want to be around the people, more connections and just like more going on.
Right.
Our goal would be to own somewhere up here to where if we are traveling or if we are down in Denver, that we can rent it out.
Perfect.
So
I'll start looking
once we have the cash flow.
Yeah. Which, you know, ebbs and flows, but you know what I mean?
Well, no, like influencing, podcasting, all that stuff. When you start out, it's a hustle.
Yeah.
It's such a hustle.
Yeah.
And so if you're not like doing it, like if you're not working, it's like, yeah, like I don't have somewhere to be every day, but if you're not doing it,
sure,
no one's making money for you. But that's the same in real estate. Like again, your bosses aren't making you be here 9 to 5.
No, exactly. Exactly. And my bosses are incredible, but they're like coworkers, and they're more good friends. They're there to help us out when we get into situations that we haven't seen before. But no, they're not sitting there hounding me to go to work and do all this stuff. Exactly. It's really on you to generate the business and to go out there and to find it yourself.
Do you think that's why a lot of people don't succeed
100%
past a couple of years in real estate? So what do you think are the biggest things, if we have anyone listening that wants to get into real estate, are what they would kind of need to do, or the best qualities of someone if they want to get into this?
I mean, real estate brokers come in all shapes and sizes. You know, they have different niches that they fit into and different people that they serve, but it's really about building relationships, right? You have to be good with people. You have to be good with building trust with people and have them communicate honestly with you, whether that's good or bad. So if you're a people person, and that's why they say bartenders make the best real estate agents, right?
Wait, they say that?
Yeah. That's
wow. I didn't know
we were talking before the podcast started, and I was telling him how someone made me take that like corporate personality quiz that said I was a rainmaker and that I should be in sales. Right. And he was like, well, like you and Nick, I could both see. He's like, you guys are very quick to start relationships quickly. And then it's basically just having people trust you and dealing with that. Yeah.
Because if someone doesn't trust you, you're out. There's no way this is going to work. And that's really what you're aiming for, is like, hey, I want you to trust me. I want you to be honest with me, and just tell me what you want. Tell me what you need, and I'll take care of it. That's the whole job. But again, that's why the whole bartending thing makes sense. Yeah. Because you're good and you can develop relationships within 10 seconds with someone.
Yeah,
and figure out who they are, what they're about, and what they need.
Well, that's why like you and I like hanging out. I'm saying like us hanging out, like we became the SAUCY SIBZ because we meet people we make friends very easily.
I feel like talking and hanging out and, is kind of like what I'm best at.
But that is sales.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, but then you have to learn how to write an offer.
Yeah, I don't. So I'm feeling very inspired by this. I just don't think. That like I'm inspired to go do it myself.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It just seems like a really cool like lifestyle too.
It's great.
It's because you are, as we said, like you're living your best Summit County life. I feel like 4 years ago, or around 3-4 years ago when we met you, I remember around your apartment, you kind of had like not vision board stuff, but I remember like reading something you had written. I think it was just kind of like your like goals or what you were doing. Look at me. I was snooping. No, I'm just kidding.
No, I'm trying to think of what
I think about 3-4 years ago, correct me if I'm wrong, that you sort of were trying to set yourself up for the rest of your life. And that's why you like got into real estate, decided you were going to do good, and decided it like supported your lifestyle. Like, how do you think you balance it all to make it like all work for you?
I mean, it's a complete lifestyle change, right? When I got into this, I didn't really know what was going on. I got really lucky. I mean, my bosses, the Rankins, are incredible people, and I'm so glad I found them to get me into this. But prior to that, I was bartending. I was waiting tables, doing all that sort of thing, and it wears on you. And you really take a look at yourself, and you're like, there's no way I'm going to be able to do this forever. There's not a chance. The 2 a.m. nights and staying up super late and working long hours, it wears on you. So I needed a change. And the Rankins, who I work for here, they were amazing. They were just friends of mine prior to this whole thing happening. And so he was a guy that I played hockey with.
Wait, will you tell the story about Woolerfest last year and how it sort of came upon you getting this job?
Right.
So I was saying, since it's Woolerfest, Viking Fest, everyone's walking around with these like Viking helmets with the horns. And I was like, Adam, we need horns for the pod.
Yeah.
And he was like, we could just go buy some off people. And he goes, it's funny. I have a story directly related to that ended up with me working here.
Yeah, exactly. So when I first got this job, it was pretty much related directly to hockey. My boss now, Todd, he was a good friend of mine. He called me up one day and is like, hey, I'm starting a rec hockey league. I know you're from Wisconsin. You should probably come and skate on this team, thinking that everyone from Wisconsin knows how to play hockey, right?
But isn't it like the capital of hockey in the United States?
It's the Midwest in general, like Minnesota, Wisconsin. There's tons of people. There's nothing else to do. You play hockey.
And you play hockey. Yeah.
It's even big in St. Louis now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so I told Todd, I talked to him about this, and I'm on the phone with him. I'm like, hey, Todd, I don't know anything about hockey, and I don't know how to skate, and I'm 30. He's like, yeah, practice is on Thursday. Hangs up the phone on me. I go, all right, I guess I gotta go get some skates. So I did that, started skating, and then that led directly to me getting this job, essentially. I sat down with Todd one morning after a morning skate, and we started talking about real estate, and he goes, go get your license, come and work for me. It was great. From then on out, that's kind of what happened. But the story that you're referring to is we were at some bar after skating one day, and we're all sitting there, and it's Uller. And we just got done playing hockey, and he's looking around going, man, I wish we had one of those horned helmets to have around. And I'm looking around the bar, like, what about that, guys? It's like, we should go and get it. So I walk up to this guy, start talking to him for 5 minutes, and then essentially just leave the conversation with his helmet and come back, give it to my boss. And he's like, how did you just do that? What do you mean? It was a hat.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what spurred it in him to say, all right, this guy would be pretty good at real estate.
Pretty good at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, I love that.
I feel like that's such like our dad stuff, like a Matt Piazza thing.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, okay.
You guys
knows
can
how
go
to do
into a
it.
room and be comfortable with anyone, right?
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Well, I feel like that's like, now I really want some horns. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of exactly.
Should we go to, we're going to Ulerfest it a little bit tonight, guys.
Yeah.
So what is the lore of Ulerfest?
You tell me.
I don't remember.
No, I do.
Will you tell it?
Okay, so Uller is the Norse god of snow.
Yeah.
I think he's the son of Odin, which is like pretty much the Zeus of Norse mythology, and that he's the god of snow. And so because a lot of mountain towns want snow for skiing, they pray to or celebrate the god of Uller and to bring the snow.
So usually, like historically, weirdly, actually in Breck, it's always dumped the day after Ulerfest.
It always does. And places get it, especially like last year and the year before. And a lot of people think that like, our mom is like pretty Christian and very Christian. And she was like, Ulerfest, that sounds like, idol.
She was upset. She was like, I don't like you going to worship other gods. Like, you guys need to steer clear.
And to that,
we're just doing it for fun, Mom.
No, to that, I think she has a point. Like, you can't celebrate a pagan god and expect it not to be like idol worship. And then, especially like you pray for snow to the god of snow, and then it snows, whether or not you believe in that stuff. I'm just saying, like, that is idol worship. I mean, at the end of the day it is. And so that's what, like, I think is kind of funny.
If you're worried about that.
If you're worried about that, I mean, do we believe in these things? I don't know. But if you did believe in these things, this is how if I wanted to worship the god of snow and make it snow, what I would do is I would have my small town go celebrate the god of snow.
Yeah.
Whether or not it's true or not.
At the end of the day, we just want more snow to go ski on.
Yeah.
To go have a good time.
I haven't skied yet this year.
Zero
I don't have a pass.
I have a 1 day.
Nice.
You guys, listen.
How many days do you have?
We moved up here. We like decided that we had like professional things to do. So I feel like not in a bad way, but if you don't like have your schedule and this is what I'm doing, you can lose a lot of days to skiing. All of a sudden it's 3 months later and you're like, what have I done? And it's amazing. It's wonderful. And you're with your friends, you're on the hill, you're having the best time of your life, but you're like, did I get any work done?
Or you could just be daddy and just like fucking ski, work, be, you know what I mean?
He's got to figure it out.
What time, like,
yeah, he's like, why are you fitting in a couple hours a day?
I'm not trying to call you on, unproductive. I'm just saying for me, it would be unproductive, because I like to have a few beers on the hill.
Yeah, no. If you're working, save it for later.
He was like, I was like, oh, like, do you want us to pick up food? Or are you going to be hungry after work? And he was like, oh no, I'm going to like hit the hill. And then like, I'll come meet you guys. So he literally came in off the hill and like recorded a podcast.
I was out skiing today.
Here
we are. Anything else? Adam Jensen, real estate agent. If you're looking in Breckenridge, Summit County, around here for someone to sell your home,
we'll have his information in the bio.
Thank you guys.
Yeah.
In the show notes.
What's the best way? From your Instagram? Because we'll tag you on there.
Just give me a phone call. If you have questions about anything going on in the market, you're just curious or you don't know where to start, just give me a call.
All right. How's the market doing? Real quick.
How's the market doing?
Yeah.
Everyone wants to know, right?
Yeah, I'd love to know. Like you got your finger on the pulse.
Yeah, it's cooled off, right? It's not as crazy as it was last year, and things have cooled off. Mortgage rates are going up or have been going up, but now they're coming back down. So we're in this kind of cooling period where homes historically, or at least not historically, but last year would be on the market for a matter of minutes, hours. Yeah. It was gone like that.
Yeah.
And now we're starting to see homes on market for a little bit longer. There's more negotiations taking place, but it's still it's great for buyers right now to try and get
still a buyer's market.
No. It was completely a seller's market.
Okay.
For the last couple of years.
But now we're the buyers are getting a little
Buyers
leeway.
are getting a little bit more leverage in this game. Okay. So if you're looking at houses or you're curious and you want to get into it, it's that easy. Just give me a call and I can walk you through everything.
Okay, why are you laughing?
No, I was just laughing I don't know. It's just buyer's market, seller's market. We're all it's all our market. We're an inclusive group.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
cool.
Cheers to Uller.
Cheers.
And to Adam. Thank you for taking your Thursday afternoon and hanging out with us.
No,
and to really Cornerstone for letting us hang out here.
Yeah, Cornerstone. What's it called?
Cornerstone Real Estate.
Real Estate? Okay, cool.
Do you not want us to mention
There
them?
it is. No, that's great.
Okay.
That's awesome.
It's like we got this out. Well, cheers, guys. Yeah. If you have any questions, hit him up.
We'll have all of his information in the show notes.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
Thanks for hanging out with us. We're about to break this down and go out. Mwah. Chef's kiss. Love you.
All right. Bye.